How's it going, NPL fans? My name's Heracrossnite, and I'm here to bring you sets of the week for week 5. I know it's a little bit delayed, but all that matters is here right now, and I'm here with my co-host, Mr. Davfernape.
Yo, what's up, everybody? It's Davfernape here.
Yeah, and apologies for it being a little bit delayed, but without any further ado, let's get into the sets from week 5. So at the number 5 spot, we have Lee Vanny. That was brought by the Boston Bidoofs. Parker that filled in for Bidoof because personal issues and such. But it was Swarm ability with a modest nature, holding a focus sash, max special attack, max speed with fort and special defense, agility, baton pass, energy ball, and bug bust. Now, the main thing that Lee Vanny did in the match, it managed to get in agility up and then baton pass into Chandelure, which unfortunately did not work for Parker because Chandelure proceeded to Shadow Ball the Registeel, but Registeel's so bulky that it lived it, and then went for Toxic and managed to EQ it as well. So Chandelure ended up going for Shadow Ball, taking out the Registeel, but then it also died. So it didn't really have that much influence into the match, but whenever Lee Vanny's brought and it's not Sticky Web, I think it's always important to note it because Lee Vanny is not the #1 Mon in League format, obviously, but that was an interesting idea from Parker, and if it paid off, then it could definitely been a monumental sweep, but unfortunately for him, it didn't, but props for the effort. Do you have anything to add, Dave?
Just looking at the team matchup between the two coaches, unfortunately, there wasn't too good of a chance for Lee Vanny to do its job, but if the teams were just a little bit different and the game went differently, Chandelure could have swept.
Unfortunately, Registeel's bulky and lived that Shadow Ball. So we can move on to the number 4 Mon, which is Latios. Levitate, Adamant Nature with leftovers. 252 in attack, 252 in speed with 4 in HP. Dragon Claw, Earthquake, Substitute, Dragon Dance. And it was made by another replacement coach for this week, Aster, that replaced Rob for the Austin Toros. And he brought Physical Latios, which is already something that's not that very common. The substitute was to set up on Mons like Chestnut or Weezing so it can get a sub up and then start Dragon Dancing and starting to do work to his opponent's team. It ended up killing the Empoleon, which is something to note because Empoleon's a quote-unquote switch into Latios because it can take Dracos, but it ended up taking down the Latios, the Empoleon, excuse me, which was very, very nice on his part. He proceeded to take out the Empoleon. After that, it didn't really do that much, which was unfortunate, but it still got a huge hit on the Sneasel, bringing it down to 20% to a point where it couldn't even switch on rocks anymore. So that was nice on Aster's part. Not much to say. Not much else to say around this set. Physical Latios is always interesting to see, and it didn't pay off like Aster wanted it to, but it still took down Empoleon, which is one of the counters to Laddie. So I think that it was a positive set for him to bring, and he did well exploiting like the physical Latios and the coverage that he got.
It's the second week in a row that we've seen a physical Lati. Week 4, we saw a Mega Latios that was physical from the New York Metangs. So obviously, people are recognizing that physical or special, it's versatile and can do many things. So that's just gonna affect the person if they have to face a Lati. Definitely are gonna have to start preparing for that, and it's gonna get in their heads.
Yeah, they're gonna think twice before crossing out physical Lati against them. So we can move on to set number 3, David, if you want to take this one.
Alright, for set number 3, we have Gypsy from Sydney Shartitos, his Whimsicott. It had the Infiltrator ability. Normally they run Prankster, but this one was Infiltrator with a timid nature, had leftovers as its item. It had 40 HP EVs, 252 special attack, 216, with Moonblast, Hidden Power Ice, Encore, and U-Turn. Gypsy told us that the speed he ran was specifically to outspeed his biggest threats, and you can see from its move pool, Moonblast and Hidden Power Ice definitely dealt with most of the opposing threats on the team, mainly being Mega Gallade, Gliscor, and Noivern, as well as Encore for other fat Pokemon that he had, like Obviously, that would help him not to get swept, and other Pokemon like Alomomola that's just fat and annoying. And then U-turn just to scout and, just standard in League. That's really helpful to be able to scout things like that. And the biggest reason why this set is here is because of the Infiltrator ability instead of the, like I said before, Prankster, which is what they normally run. He ran Infiltrator because it can go through substitutes, obviously, and Mega Gallade at one point in the match got up, it was setting up, and it was at, I believe, 1.5 attack, and it went for substitute, and the Whimsicott switched in and is able to Moonblast through the substitute and take out the Mega Gallade. So that just nullified a huge threat and basically gave Gypsy the best chance of winning.
Yeah, I really like this set because when you think of Whimsicott, you just think of Prankster shenanigans with Leech Seed, Protect, Encore, just the basic annoying stuff. And it had Infiltrator, which really caught Cypher off guard because he killed the Mega Gallade through the substitute, which is amazing. So yeah, props to Gypsy for bringing that set. Definitely not something that you'd expect. Definitely not something you'd expect. But moving on to the second set, the second to best set of this week, we have Hoopa Unbound, built by Trev and the Atlanta Braviaries. Magician ability with Timid, Leftovers, 12 in HP, 92 in defense, 60 in special attack, 148 in special defense, and 188 in speed. Definitely a very, very specific spread, which just showcases the thought that was put into this set. And basically, the Hoopa got a substitute on a Will-O-Wisp from the Rotom, I believe, and then it got to +2 and then could just started denting his opponent's team. It had enough speed to outspeed a max speed Jolly Mega Tyranitar, as well as neutral Mega Venusaur. Spadef allowed it to get a sub guaranteed from a Rotom Washish Volt Switch, so he got the opportunity to get a substitute on there as well. After he got to +2, he could OHKO every single thing on his opponent's team, besides like a Solvest Gardevoir or a Spadef Scizor, which isn't that all common. And then the rest he was just dumped into defense just to take hits a little bit better. And this set was very, very cool. He thought Hoopa would be physical, so he just went for the Will-O-Wisp. So Trev got up the substitute, Nasty Plotted, and started punching holes. It had Dark Pulse and Psychic, which is almost perfect coverage for Cloud's entire team. So yeah, that was a very, very interesting set because Hoopa has amazing physical power and as well as special, but he exploited the special part in this week, and the EV spread just shows how much thought went into this set. So yeah, props to Trev.
If you ask my opinion, I'm pretty sure Trev just put in random numbers.
he just got it right. He's lucky, so he just got the numbers right.
No calcs, no thought process, nothing. He just typed in random.
He just looked at, okay, this would be good here. Now let's spread a little bit of the love over here. Yeah, you can have some too, because I'm pretty sure he only didn't invest in in attack, so he distributed the EVs equally so that no one would be sad. But yeah, that's the set from Trev and the Braviary. So we can move on to the top set of this week, which is a goodie.
Alright, so Crobat for the win of the Los Angeles Needle King has brought Volcanion with Water Absorb, Timid Nature, Leftovers, 252 HP, 4 defense, 4 special attack, 76 for death, and 172 speed. Its moveset was Substitute, Toxic, Protect, and Flamethrower. So obviously this isn't the typical set you normally see. You don't see the offensive
Choice Bags,
Steam Eruption, Fire Blast, yeah, and Grass Knot and whatnot. You don't see any of that. You're seeing a more defensive set, and the reason being is because Volcanion, looking at I believe Riz was his opponent, looking at the team, it can set up a substitute against most of the Pokemon, as well as Toxic Stalling working really good because Riz has a pretty bulky team. Jellicent being the main example, it's straight up, it's a counter Jellicent, and it can kill it with Toxic, and it has Protect. We saw the entire match, Protect just being annoying, getting Toxic damage off, Toxic Stalling, getting his leftovers back, Scouting, giving him more longevity, and I think Flamethrower is really the only move he needed. There was no other reason to have any other attack. He also had Protect that helped him against Riz's threats that had high jump kick. So if he really needed it, he could Protect and block Riz from going for high jump kick, or if anything, just make it so that Riz will think twice for clicking high jump kick, which with his Pokemon.
Yeah, because Mega Medicham is such a threat. So if he could reveal Protect and make him think twice.
Yeah, it was really smart and it was unexpected. I would have never brought that. I would have honestly brought something like Choice Scarf, then I'd have probably lost to Riz. That's pretty embarrassing.
Yeah, because no one loses to Riz.
But yeah, it was really smart. And, props to Danza. That's why we're seeing how good of a veteran he is and the thought process behind that.
Exactly. This is definitely not the sets you see. It 1v1 to Tornadus, which is amazing. Although he did miss 2 Hurricanes, but still he 1v1 to Tornadus. He got some crucial chip damage on things like Jolteon and Mamoswine. And Flame Girl was the only move he needed. He didn't want the Steam Rush because of the burn, which would have been really nice. So Toxic Stall is amazing from Danza's part, and no one would ever think bringing Toxic Stall, especially like you said, when you have the power that Volcanion possesses with Steam Eruption, which is nearly broken. Like a Choice Scarf in my eyes would also be like what I would bring, but hey, not everyone can be as talented as Danza, and he just showcased that off right here. The set was perfect for his team. It's just simply perfect.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure that's gonna be it for this episode. If we missed a set or like any other set, tell us down below in the comments. The NPL is currently going on a break for the TTM summer tournament, but me and Hera will still be uploading these and other analyst shows, so be sure to stay tuned. We'll have content during this break where you're not gonna see battles for I think another week.
I think so.
Yeah, so yeah, comment down below what you thought your favorite set is, and we will see you next time.
Yeah, thank you so much for watching. See you next week.
Subscribe!